The word of God. Once again, David assembled the select warriors of Israel, 30,000 strong. David and all the troops who were with him set out for Baalah, which is in Kiriath Jearim of Judah, to bring God's ark up from there, the ark that is called by the name of the Lord of heavenly forces, who sits enthroned on the winged creatures. They loaded God's ark onto a new cart and carried it from Abinadab's house, which was on the hill. Uzzah and Ahio, Abinadab's sons, were driving the new cart. Uzzah was beside God's chest while Ahio was walking in front of it. Meanwhile, David and the entire house of Israel celebrated in the Lord's presence, dancing with all their strength, with songs, zithers, harps, tambourines, rattles, and cymbals. When they approached Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah reached out to God's ark and grabbed it, because the oxen had stumbled. So David went and brought God's ark up from Obed-Edom's house in David's city with celebration, with dancing. Whenever those bearing the ark advanced 6 steps, David sacrificed an ox and a fatling calf. David, dressed in a linen priestly vest, danced with all his might before the Lord. This is how David and the entire house of Israel brought up the Lord's ark with shouts and trumpet blasts. As the Lord's ark entered David's city, Saul's daughter, Michal, was watching from a window. Michal was also David's wife. She saw King David jumping and dancing before the Lord, and she lost all respect for him. The Lord's ark was brought in and put in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it. Then David offered entirely burnt offerings in the Lord's presence, in addition to well-being sacrifices. Amen. And from the Gospel according to Luke, a piece of a very familiar story. While the prodigal was still a long way off, his father saw him and was moved with compassion. His father ran to him, hugged him, and kissed him. Then his son said, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son." But the father said to his servants, "Quickly bring out the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Fetch the fattened calf and slaughter it. We must celebrate with feasting, because this son of mine was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and is found." And they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field. Coming in from the field, he approached the house and heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what was going on. The servant replied, "Your brother has arrived, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf, because he received his son back safe and sound." May God bless our understanding and our living of this holy word.